Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. My name is Umboglo, and with me once again is...
Mechalomaniac. Hello, Internet.
Good day. So, last time we created new characters in the 23rd Century Starfleet timeline, and...
I made a dwarf.
Yeah, and we went through the tutorial, so now we're going to start doing the first actual mission, which will take us back to the famous planet where... Kirk fought
the Gorn. Did you change your shirt to the ripped up one?
I didn't. But I did switch my ship to the Enterprise. Or at least
the Constitution
or at least
class.
the classic Constitution class. One thing which is actually pretty neat, and I'll show it off once we finish this dialogue set here, is because of where in the timeline we are, Cryptic has allowed serial numbers in the 4-digit values, as opposed to the needing to be over 90,000 as they are in the normal timeline. Mm-hmm. I would like to know if that is something which is only available for 23rd century ships, or if that is something that 23rd century captains can do.
I can actually answer that for you after this. Which you'll have to add it in as a thing.
Okay.
Word. Note, text note. What do you call those?
Annotation.
Annotation. Thank you. My brain is clearly working on all cylinders today. Because I have a 23rd century captain who's past this, and I don't have a 23rd century starship, but, you know. Okay, so we're bringing double Tarsies.
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
They're clones. Like, back when we were doing the what's the word?
Well, when we did the Romulans,
the Wasteland missions, and we had clones of. No, it was when we were Klingons, I think, actually.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a time, like when we were doing the Romulan missions, we had multiples of the same people, and I'm pretty sure there was also a point where we were using multiple. What's her name? The Federation.
The Klingon, except I had one that was. Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
There's that too, but no, there's the Klingon missions where we had, like, for some reason I had a girl with a name and then a girl with the name and the number 2 after it.
Oh, right.
You remember that? I
Yes.
can't remember the name now, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, that I remember.
And you'll notice that Ensign Hunter here is voiced. That is pretty cryptic.
Yeah, and he's also got
unintentional.
Yeah. I am also pretty amused how the second named NPC that we run into for a mission is also someone that we have happened to create a captain character of.
Yeah, but this time I did it intentionally.
Oh, okay. That's good then.
I mean, it's not like when I was playing mine where she's basically looks almost exactly like Tarsi here.
Yeah, Tarsi seems to be really close to the default Andorian female for some reason.
I think my skin was a bit deeper and she was a bit taller, but otherwise, yeah. So, you know, in my headcanon, it's just her sister.
Sure, yeah, might as well. So, while we're going through this, I guess we should talk about some cryptic news.
The elephant in the room.
Yep. So, yeah. I also hear some Gorn. So Cryptic has a new, those R&D special events. One of them's going on right now.
R&D promos.
Yeah, R&D.
By the way,
promos.
I love it. I love the old style Gorn.
Yeah. Oh, well, one of the Gorn ships just blew up. That's not good. Yeah, so Cryptic has an R&D bonus thing going on right now, and like they do every now and then. And this time, the bonus, the reward ship that you could potentially get for opening up these boxes is a
They're
tier
assholes.
6 Constitution, the original series style,
Well,
not the J.J. Abrams style, but
no.
a
A tier 6 version of what you were just flying.
that's right.
They're assholes.
Like,
They're assholes who are probably rolling in money at this point. They're assholes.
I am actually maybe kind of getting a little upset about that because, like, I know I mentioned this last week when we were talking about the J.J. Abrams Enterprise, that a max level Constitution has been one of these ships that people have wanted basically since the game came out.
Also, I'd like to point out our current objective is come up with a plan.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And right now, it's going to involve causing a rock to fall.
That's planned. It was a big rock.
That's right. Didn't you watch the episode? There's plenty of stuff to make with bombs here.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know if I've actually seen that episode.
I have at least seen the fight with the Gorn.
Yeah, everyone's seen that. I used to live near where that took place, which I've probably mentioned before.
So
Anyway, yeah, the ship.
And it is a temporal ship. So it has
Temporal Command, I think.
no, I think it is. It is just straight up a temporal ship. Like it is the temporal specialization.
Let me check. I'll check again.
Because I know it does have that molecular reconstruction beam thingamajig, which is the gimmick of the temporal ships.
Yeah.
Which is...
I think it also has a temporal or a command.
Yes, it very likely has a command
station.
Yeah, that is very likely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it also has the cruiser commands because it's a cruiser. It's just
yes. They're jerks,
guys.
I can't blame them because they're probably making far more money than they would otherwise, but they're jerks.
Yeah, I know,
and not to get too current eventsy / date this episode too much, but in the light of the EpiPen thing that's going on right now, I can't be that mad at Cryptic because all my rage has been shot to that person.
Yeah, this
because making something in a game expensive is one thing, but making something that saves people's lives super expensive for no reason, or greedy reasons, annoys me far more.
Yeah.
Should also mention it's not just the Enterprise. Much like the lockbox, if you are a different faction, you get a different ship. So
yes, and also
Klingons get a D7 tier 6, and Romulans
get the
old school T6.
The old school Talis. They have also been clear in saying that if you have any of the skins that would apply to previous versions of those ships, they will also apply to the T6 version, which is normal for these types of things, but still nice to have it confirmed. Because I'm pretty sure the JJ Prize doesn't have any alternate looks.
Oh, I'm wondering if. So let's talk about this. Well, okay. So my one thing that I noticed is technically this is the original series Constitution, right?
Yeah. I wonder if
they could still be jerks and make a tier. Well, not jerks in that case, but they could make for something else a tier 6 movie era Enterprise.
Yeah.
Like the refit from the original movie series. Which would be a kind of a compromise.
I mean, because there actually is. What is it? There are 2 different Constitution classes in the game already. There is the T1 bot Constitution class, which is the one that looks like the Enterprise from the TV show, and then there is basically
Tier.
I think it is actually supposed to be basically the movie Constitution class, and it looks
It is, yeah, it's
slightly
tier 2.
different at tier 2. Yeah.
Because, I mean, canonically, that was a refit of the Constitution class.
Yeah, I will put. I'll be sure to put pictures of them up here just for comparison. But
For the people who've never seen Wrath of Khan.
but Cryptic could definitely put like a tier 6 version of the third Constitution as a regular C-store thing.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm not saying they will, but they could.
yeah.
Also, side note, if the one can use all skins, I'm wondering, because I'm a weirdo, I'm wondering if you can use the Exeter skin, because I actually really like the design of the Exeter, which is the normal tier 2 cruiser.
Let me see, because I know it specifically calls out what ships. It will take the skins from. So let me just pull it up.
Because I would buy a tier 6 Exeter, really. Even without the Constitution stuff, but I just like the way they updated the Constitution to a 24th century design.
Thank you for saving my. We're making repairs, and it'll be some time before.
All right, so let's go help.
So,
Let's go help the Zheng He. The Temporal Lake Cruiser has access to the Constitution refit, Excalibur, and Vesper costumes. It can use the Exeter's costume if that starship is owned.
okay, so that's see how I kind of want one. I was before thinking like, if I randomly got one, I'd just sell it for a ludicrous amount of energy credits. But now if I got one, I think I'd keep it just to have a tier 6 Exeter. Or Vesper, either one. I think those are roughly the same.
You can fire all weapons at once.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, like I said, it's
So yeah, it's a bummer, and
it's a bummer, and I'm. That's like kind of thing. Like I'm not sure whether I am really upset about it or whether it's just like I'm kind of bummed that they're doing this.
yeah, and there is predictably, because this is the internet, there is a fairly large divisive stance on it as far as the internet goes.
Yeah,
the
of course,
greater internet
of course
goes.
there is. I mean, there would have been one, even if it was added to the C store, there would have been one anyway, because people would be upset that there is a tier 6 Constitution. And like, those people can probably go get stuffed or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks. I hate to ask.
I mean, I have the opinion of if it bugs you that much, just don't
Start with the degree of
use
bullshit
it.
that was
I mean, I guess it's a multiplayer game, so you do still have to see it, but all the weird ships they've added, I'm not going to be bugged by adding a tier 6 version of a 300-year-old ship.
Yeah, it's like especially...
Given, well, 200-year-old ship, I guess.
Like, there's at least a ginned up reason for the tier 6 TOS Constitution. The J.J. Abrams ones being tier 6 is actually kind of ridiculous with the way they justify it, but I still think it's kind of amazing, so I'm fine.
It's from an alternate universe, so I really don't care.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because they essentially say that because that other universe was kind of more militaristic leaning, like
the destruction of the Kelvin kind of kicked their asses into developing military more. Which happened with the the Vengeance even more so.
Yeah,
because that thing was like just straight up designed to be a weapon of war. So I got out of you. There's a strange anomaly over here.
Honestly, though, like tier 6 as a concept is just kind of goofy. Whatever. Like tier 5 is I would probably say that tier 5 and tier 6 is essentially meant to be the same thing. It's just that because of the way things have to progress as a game, that's where you're getting into these strange differences, like these tierings in strength.
I had a lag spike there.
Whoops.
I didn't lose you at all, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's kind of jump. Yeah, it's the other thing. It's like it's all relative. Like, I get the technological advancements of the tier 6 ships, but it's a game about playing what you want to play, so whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
And they already had a bunch of tier 6 TOS era ships with this last expansion anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
Do being replaced.
Although those tier 6 TOS ships are like super obviously total rebuilds.
Yeah.
I see no Romulan.
Well, no, I think you can use the old skins though.
I think you can, and I'm going to make sure I check that once I get to that level. Or I could probably just
Yeah, you should be able to claim it on your Fed cap.
yeah, I should actually just check that at some point.
Because you bought the pack.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I got the pre-order pack, so I've got all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are usable by any Fed. I mulled around. I figured if I ever got one, I'd get the Paladin one, because that one actually looks pretty neat, and battle cruisers are pretty handy.
I actually super like the look of this Gorn ship, and I don't think it's otherwise available in the game. So it's actually kind of a shame that they. Yeah, I hope that
they got more lockboxes, and they got to cover before doing another major expansion.
They'd better not. This is a TOS era thing. Like, come on, just add that as a regular C-Store ship. Throw the Klingons a bone, guys. You've been.
No one cares about the Klingons.
But that is actually a really cool looking ship.
I'm still waiting for them to just tear down the walls and just let everyone use everyone's ships.
Yes, they really need to do that. Like, on one hand, it's the fact that they made the new quote-unquote faction in the game just be a subspecies of Federation is kind of telling on that front.
Because I think Fed players outnumber the other two factions by 10-1.
Yeah, they do. But you can tell no, they just don't want to bother.
Ignore that noise. Sorry.
Yeah, but yes, they really should.
Well, I can't blame them for putting their energy with what makes them the most money. Because, not to sound like a jerk, because I'm not, because, like I said, this is a game versus real life stuff that actually matters. People being greedy, ruining lives. But they got to keep the bills paid, or the lights on, basically.
Yeah.
Nice work out there, Captain.
Yeah, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll add a few more ships to the C-Store based on the TOS stuff. The expansion has only just been released, so there's still plenty of time and plenty of slots for them to add more ships.
You know what? I'd also probably buy Tier 6 Miranda.
Yeah, I would like to see a Tier 6... because there is a Tier 5 Miranda, if I remember correctly. Well, actually, no, there probably isn't. Cause
there's the Akira, which is vaguely Miranda-like.
Well, I mean, I think they might have added Miranda to the fleet ships.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I'd have to...
I'm not in a place to check right now.
Yeah, I'd have to double-check that. Alright, we're going to do... Hey, we're going to K-13.
Something that still exists.
Yeah.
Also, we got Scavrin.
Yeah. Alright, so let's fly out to K-13. Alright, that's going to take a little bit. So while that's going on, I am actually going to look up this STO wiki and see if I can confirm the fleet ships.
Yeah, because there's some weird ones.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I read on this was on Reddit, so I don't know how true it is, but apparently they officially retired the old Jupiter model from the game.
Yeah. Well, technically they had a while ago.
But officially it's not in the game data anymore.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, because they had accidentally left a few Jupiters that could have spawned. The old style Jupiter, the really ugly looking,
The ugly one.
that could have spawned, and they had accidentally left it in.
Yeah, so there was a little screenshot of like a farewell party to it. That's what people did.
Nice. All right, I must be misremembering. I think it's
Okay.
it's only the Stargazer, which is the first one that the lowest tier one that has a fleet version. Yeah, they should probably do a max level Miranda as well. That'd be pretty
Go
great.
for one of those.
All right, so let's.
So I like some of the. See, I'm weird because I like some of the more stylish movie era designs.
Yeah,
Much like actually a game we keep mentioning, Starfleet Command had a lot of kind of interesting variants of those.
yeah. There is like a really intense like focusing effect on the center of the screen. Like anything which is just sort of off the side of the, like just slightly out of the center, starts fogging like real intensely. That's
I'm assuming that's part of the sepia filter. and
yeah.
this stuff,
I have a
noticing
feeling it
too.
is related to the filter that they're applying. That's pretty rad.
Like I said, I love games that do filters like this. Like an old Kamen Rider fighting game. Kamen Rider being, for those who don't know, a old Japanese 70s live-action TV show franchise that has persisted into modern day. But in that, the characters from the 70s would get weird, like, film grain effects on their super attacks, basically.
That's pretty great.
And I believe more recent Super Robot Wars games have done that with some of the older shows too.
They have, yeah. It's just how I have greatly appreciated how the more recent Super Robot Wars games have
It's gotten super stylish.
have tried to be as close to the original intent. Like especially with things like so there is one Super Robot show which is kind of one of my favorite, and it is well known for having spent so much of its budget on the staff that the robot itself basically doesn't animate. And when that's
Specifically, he's talking about Six God Combination, God Mars, which, if you're actually curious, it's on Hulu.
it is also a really good show. Like even if the robot kind of doesn't move a whole lot, it is actually a really good show, and everything else actually animates really well too. But what I really like is that when this robot showed up in Super Robot Wars, they replicated its non-animation in its attack animations, and that's pretty amazing.
Except for its strongest attack, where it got the power to move.
It kind of moved a little bit. Like it's even when it dodges, it just sort of slides around the screen instead of actually doing
Yeah.
anything.
Which is what old Super Wars games actually did.
Yeah.
Stop where you are and turn about slowly. I'm neuroparasite. life form last encountered by the crew of the Enterprise.
Oh joy, neural parasites.
Built to them. And while you have not engaged in hostilities,
Oh, that was you,
I
okay.
have seen infected employ false passivity. Scans show a slightly elevated level of adrenaline, though nowhere near that of an
Also,
infected
following
or
the
life
other,
form
you know, the way the other missions for the other factions work, yes, we do get her as our default science officer. Because she got a name and has a voice.
According to Starfleet data files, the parasites can be safely destroyed by exposure to high-intensity ultraviolet light.
She's a doctor, not an engineer.
Station's lighting thus far have been as a precaution. I have developed a serum that can render a person toxic to the creature.
Oh, hey, there's Scotty.
It's Scotty!
Well, in case you haven't noticed, the station's full around my local para. I'm afraid not. I'm in the auxiliary control, down on the engineer.
I have secured a small amount of security.
Now we can take a little bit of gear for our crew.
Translation, we get kits.
No,
No, I lied. We don't get kits
get
yet.
yeah, we don't get kits. We just get like some body armor and weapons.
Weapons! My favorite thing in the world. Well, no, that's not true. My favorite thing in the world are giant robots. But weapons are definitely up there.
Yeah, alright. Do these not stack any higher than 3? Alright.
What? Let's go killing.
Or stunning.
I mean, stunning. They're our own guys. Also, I have to admit, I have no idea if these neural parasites are from an episode of TOS or not. I'm assuming they are. That seems like a thing that would have happened.
Probably, and considering Scotty referenced having dealt with these before, I'm positive.
Yeah, I will at some point look up what these are. In fact, let's do that now.
The creatures continue to be resistant to tricorder scans.
Something temporal has occurred near the station recently. Also, these neural parasites are hilarious looking.
Yeah, don't they look like basically like
It's a
plastic crabs?
yeah, it's just a big pile of goo. It's
Oh no, yeah, okay, big pile of glue. Yes, they are from an episode of the show. No, I don't need an advertisement for Item Ruins Everything. Thank you, Memory Alpha.
Oh, there's something strange here. Or is that... Oh, this might be... just... Okay, no, that's... I think that was just crafting materials. Just floating in that guy's office for some reason.
They gave them psychic powers. Okay, apparently it's from Operation Annihilate. As an aside, you know, you might get more ad revenue if your ads didn't like just completely block what I was trying to look at. You know, people might not use ad blockers as much if ads weren't completely annoying.
The control station is down the hall to our right. I'm reading a
Hi, it's good to see you, friend. Yes, I was beginning to get a bit concerned.
So yeah, these are from the first season finale of the original series.
Ah, okay.
Get in while we
Which, you know, wasn't really a big deal back then because it was the 60s and...
test to the ability of UV light to sort derivative parasites. It will initiate a complete molecular...
I'm assuming cliffhangers didn't exist back then either.
she's up on.
There, now we're gonna get kits.
Okay, I knew we got kits on this mission.
Ground combat abilities.
Photon grenades. Yep.
I got a thing.
That one was easy. Just a few more to go.
Photon grenade launcher.
Ooh.
All right, there are several ways through the engineering section. Keep in mind.
So we're gonna grenade the hell out of things. As soon as it...
I like how this ability is called Photon Grenade 1 23rd Century.
Because it has different visuals.
Yeah, because it actually looks like
That's actually a super bummer once you get out of this, is you stop finding 23rd century stuff.
that is a shame, but also kind of expected.
I'll have this fixed up straight away.
I know you can get the ship phasers at least by doing the last part of the temporal series. What are they called?
The Davidians?
The Ghost Davidian, yeah.
No trouble.
You can do that last mission a crap ton of times and get a bunch of phaser banks from TOS. I don't know if there's a way to get more later on or through crafting or anything, but it is not. I think they should add one. It's on me. Gross, gross, gross. Stupid pile of jello.
There we are. Good as new.
But yeah, like my grenade launcher looks like, a cardboard tube with some wire hangers stuck onto it.
That's pretty great.
Can't see it because Tarsi's standing on it, but yeah, like this looks like a prop from the 60s.
Alright, I'm gonna-
Like I said, it's touches like this that I love about this, this expansion. I just wish it lasted longer.
Alright, I'm gonna throw my grenade and see. Alright, it doesn't look like anything different really, but
Yeah, I didn't notice anything with that. It might just be that the physical grenade looks different.
actually, let's see what's the effect of target. Oh, it's still a hologram. All right. Not that I don't think that they would have holograms by this era, but I kind of expected it to be maybe a little bit lower tech looking.
There we are.
It looks like modern day VR.
Yeah.
It's all janky and stuff.
Success our risks if we remain in well-lit areas.
Yeah, I even if these missions tend to be a lot of Captain Kirk's greatest hits, like the touches that they've been doing for these missions
Well,
is so good.
That's what they want people to see, though. Like,
You'd best get to the command center and see what you
I mean, it's like how even the game starting out, you fight basically the most recognizable Star Trek villains of the modern series. At least as the Federation.
Yeah, that is true. Like a lot of the early missions when the game first came out were also a lot of, hey, remember these things?
Who are these soldiers?
I mean, the first arc, you go find the Borg, the first arc being, the Klingons.
Like one, excuse me. Some of the early missions are, hey, remember the was it? I'm trying to remember what they call it, but the time portal. Remember the Briar Patch. Remember.
Yeah. Remember, I mean, this isn't a TNG throwback or anything, but the one where you go to P'Jem and deal with the Undine and stuff like that, that's a throwback to Enterprise, which had a whole episode about that place.
Oh, hey.
Hey, who are these
Hey,
guys?
Nicole. Well, that would explain the temporal reading then.
I've never heard of the Temporal Nicole guys. What are you talking about? That's weird.
No, yeah, these people are weird. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're new aliens. We've never seen
Defeat
them before.
alien invade intruders.
Yes. They are not cool. They are alien intruders.
And we defeated them.
Yay. Now, when that stuff falls apart, it's more about... Oh, now you talk.
Well,
Fine.
talk to us at least. Now's not a good time, Hunter.
Why are you still alive? You're wearing a red shirt. Okay, Daniels
This
Hunter.
may be a little difficult to absorb, but recent events may make it more plausible. I'm actually from the future. I can't tell you how far. Just that it's a future worth
He's from the future and he knows a lot about
That's why
history.
I'm here now. The aliens were fighting
Yeah.
called the Nakul, and they're waging a temporal cold war on us. They're trying to change the timeline here in order to disrupt the future. Understand that I follow a temporal version of the Prime Directive. There's only so much I can reveal.
One of his time powers is the ability to not move his
Trust
mouth.
that I'm doing the right thing.
Yep.
Time's a factor. We need to
So yeah,
stop
for those like me who didn't watch Enterprise, he was actually in Enterprise,
Yeah, basically doing this exact same role.
doing this exact thing. Yes.
invaders is now fighting the Ptolemy.
The other fun note is this guy, the actor who plays him, is named Matt Winston, who is reprising the character from Enterprise, and he is in fact
Ptolemy is
special effects legend Stan Winston's son.
Ah.
neither is your ship, at least not alone. We should eliminate the parasites on the ships you fought earlier.
And if you don't know who Stan Winston is, go read Wikipedia and find out who Stan Winston is, because dude's freaking amazing.
It's risky, but it's our best shot.
Right, well, we're gonna need all of our ships if we're gonna fight a ship that's from
Like
hundreds of
800 years in the
yeah,
future.
hundreds
at
of
this
years
point.
into the future.
I don't just know why we're not just immediately screwed.
Yeah.
Command calls to you now. We have engaged the enemy ships, but we are outmatched.
Like
Please restore those ships and join the fight quickly.
Like, logically, this would be like... I mean, I guess we are, like, science hacking it with help from a dude from the future.
Parasites are gone.
This is Captain Tordia, USS Myrmidon. Parasites? Okay, something's wrong.
We're not doing any damage.
Okay.
Yeah, because the ship's from like 800 years in the future.
Has been destroyed.
Not the Ptolemy, where are the Gundams going to launch from now?
Temporal shielding? Never heard of it. But maybe a modular science destructor.
And of course, Scotty can fix it.
Of course Scotty can fix it. It's Scotty.
Because Scotty can fix everything. So, did we go into the temporal recruit stuff last time?
No, I don't think we did.
So-
or at the very least, if I mentioned it, it was very offhand.
Yeah. So much like
Delta.
when they did
Delta.
the Delta recruit thing with Delta Rising, this expansion has a temporal recruit thing, much the same way.
Yeah.
Where you certain missions will have objectives, and then you get bonuses for leveling characters up, etc., doing crafting stuff. But one of the objectives I want to point out later on is during the Davidian series, just because we're not going to go through this in our characters, but at least I don't think we will. But during the Davidian series, one of the temporal objectives is you have to give Scotty the idea that will later save his life so that he shows back up in TNG.
Combined with the power source, created a
Like, you have to give Scotty the idea to hide himself in a transporter pattern buffer.
That's pretty good.
That is, like, easily the most memorable one of those, because mostly it's just, like, looking for little...
Like looking for little
touches.
gimmicks.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, and they did
collapsing.
have Scotty's, or have Chris Duhan do the lines for Scotty in that mission, too.
Everyone's aboard. Get us clear before that portal blows. There's doors. I've never seen a station do that.
I mean, I have, but I've also seen Babylon 5.
Perhaps not. After all, it was a temporal vortex.
And another time and
It's been
place.
quite a day, hasn't it? Girl parasites. Time traveling raiders. Why, things will seem almost normal once I'm back on the Enterprise. Speaking of, I'm sure of this.
I apologize for springing all of this on you last month, and I'll explain more as soon as I can. For now, I can tell you
K-13 will show up somewhere else. sometime else.
Sometime else in this game. So I have to admit I haven't done all of the later missions yet, mostly because I'm lazy, so I don't know if it shows back up in those, but I don't think it shows back up during this bit.
I just have to double check that.
Let me get this straight. K-13, an entire space station, just disappeared into some type of spatial anomaly? And I thought some of Kirk's after-action reports were a little out there. Starfleet Command won't
Yeah,
be
that's...
the loss of K-13.
Yep, alright.
Or the people
Yeah,
who
that's...
I like that. It's just like, so you're saying it...
happy to hear about
The
Just
a
disappeared.
whole space station disappeared into a spatial anomaly. Okay.
It's like, it just vanished? What?
Stay safe.
So do you want to do another one, or...
No, that
Cut it
that'll
here.
yeah, that'll be it for this week.
Okay.
We'll carry on next time.
Okay.
But
We got... Let me just time it out real quick. 1, 2... We only have 3 missions left before we hit the end of this bit.
all right.
So...
Well, that'll be probably next time then.
Mm-hmm. Or split up between next time and time after.
Mhm.
Because there are more new missions, it's just they come later.
Yeah.
After this bit, it goes directly into the standard Federation Klingon conflict.
Yeah. So then once we're done here, we'll just pop over to our normal characters and look at the new stuff on that end.
Yeah, because the new ones stagger out. Like, the first one's at, like, 20, and then I want to say the last one ends up showing up at, like, 44 or something like that. So they're not just a thing. They're not just a set of missions you can do all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally don't really feel like leveling this guy up to 50.
Yeah.
I leveled my other temporal character up to 50 already just because there was an XP bonus weekend going on, and just doing the Klingon set got me that high.
But anyway, yeah, that's it for us for this week.
Yep.
Thank you all for
Daniels has been revealed.
Yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.